Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert, covering the woke boycotts, which have now gone worldwide. Starting with Bud Light. They've lost their #1 position. It's 4 weeks of them in a row not being the #1 beer. That honor now goes to Modelo Especial, which is owned by Anheuser-Busch, however, not distributed by them in the United States. So all of those profits actually go to their competitor. Beyond them, Khol's is dumping their LGBT merchandise at a discount. They can't seem to sell the stuff. Hard to believe. This isn't really even a boycott thing. It's just that people don't want the merchandise. I mean, somebody's buying it someplace, but Khol's has been forced to slash the price of their Pride merchandise by up to 60% just 8 days into the month of June. And of course, that's not all. Coming from Forbes, anti-woke has gone global. International businesses draw right-wing anger over LGBT pride campaigns. People are just tired of it. So it's not working there either. Let's get into the story. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. I'm trying to get to 25,000 subscribers, so if you can subscribe, please do subscribe. Thank you so much. Modelo Especial has dethroned Bud Light as America's #1 selling beer after 22 years of holding #1. It took 20 years of hard work for marketing experts to get Bud Light to the #1 spot. It only took Dylan Mulvaney a few weeks to permanently downgrade the brand to no longer being #1. We'll see where it winds up. A lot of people can't give the beer away for free at this point, so it's hard to know how bad it's ultimately going to get, but they will never be #1 again. That is for sure. Modelo Especial has dethroned Bud Light as the top-selling beer in America after 22 years of it. In the 4 weeks ending May 28th, Modelo Especial store sales soared past $333 million, a 15.6% increase on the same period last year. Modelo surpassed Bud Light's $297 million in sales, which was a 22.8% fall in sales compared to the same time last year for Bud Light. Anheuser-Busch has lost more than $30 billion of their market value at this point. It's the first time since 2001 that Bud Light has not been in the top spot, dethroning its sister brand Budweiser for the King of Beer title in 2001. But the failure of Bud Light is so severe and so profound that it's now created something called the Bud Light effect, and we all know what that is. It's a syndrome where companies fear becoming the next Bud Light and fear getting trashed as a brand. To these companies, it's very serious because it's not just now a couple of angry tweets. Target has lost as much as $15 billion worth of its market value. So you're getting really close to $50 billion worth of stock market value lost over the woke boycotts from just the two companies of Bud Light and Target. Companies are starting to back down from the LGBT agenda. Major League Baseball is an example of how they removed their LGBT pride logo that they had started with in the beginning of June. Companies are not as confident about doing it right now because they have no idea what the actual cost to them is going to be. But for the loss of market share of Bud Light, now their losses have been anywhere from 30% nationally to as much as 60% lost in sales over the Memorial Day weekend. I've seen other articles where it's 40% in a smaller market. Investment analysts are saying, well, look, we expect a 15% decline in Bud Light sales over time. Maybe you still want to look at the stock right now. And I think anybody that would buy the stock of Bud Light parent company Anheuser-Busch is a little bit nuts because they still haven't dealt with this situation. So who knows when this is going to go and affect other brands in other countries even. It's already affected multiple brands in America for Bud Light. Those have been reduced. It's not just Bud Light. And the company hasn't proven that they can handle a controversy. They've kind of proven the opposite. So when brand has so much to do with the profitability of the company, why would you trust this company? Now moving on to Khol's. Khol's has slashed prices of Pride merchandise by up to 60% just 8 days into month-long LGBT celebration after Target saw share price slump over tuck-friendly swimwear for trans people. Kohl's has been forced to heavily discount its Pride merchandise after only a week of the monthly celebration, as Target continues to face the fallout from its own decision to promote Pride products in a really aggressive way. Kohl's, which has more than 1,100 stores across 49 states, is now discounting its Pride collection both online and in stores. And they're not discounting it because of boycotts. They're discounting it because it's not selling. Woke don't sell. For example, a navy blue shirt with the rainbow colors of the LGBT flag and the word Pride is now selling at a 60% discount for $4.80. Much of the Pride collection at a Long Island store visited by DailyMail.com was in the 50% discount selection. This is a great time if you want to buy a BioWorld Pride baby bib to get an incredibly low discount on it. Online, much of the collection was also being sold at half the original price. Tote bags, table runners, baby bibs, and pajamas. A 2-pack of baby bibs are now $11, down from $22. Celebrate the joy that comes from living authentically and unapologetically during Pride Month and all year long with this BioWorld Pride Baby Bib 2-pack, the website states. A baby grow with the woman carrying a Pride flag is $9.99, down from $19.99. Kohl's, asked by Daily Mail whether this meant the merchandise was not selling, has not commented. However, the discounting comes after Target lost $4 billion in market value in just under 3 weeks, which is now up to as much as $15 billion. Target is getting destroyed right now. That's another video we have to cover. But this isn't just about Kohl's, and this isn't just about Bud Light, because coming from Forbes, anti-woke has gone global. International businesses are drawing right-wing criticism over LGBT pride campaigns. Some businesses in countries from South Africa to the United Kingdom face criticism for their LGBT pride marketing campaigns and are being slammed as woke, an American term co-opted and exported as more right-wing activist target businesses that celebrate Pride Month or a range of progressive causes. Because people have had it with pushing social agendas and social change through stores. Stores are just supposed to sell merchandise. They're not outposts for communism. They're just there to give you what you want. And if they don't give you what you want, you're not going to buy merchandise from them. And if they try to tell you how you're supposed to live your life, when all you're looking to do is to go and buy a pair of sneakers, or maybe a pair of shorts, or a t-shirt, that is not what you're looking for from a store, and you're going to call them out for trying to do social programming at your expense as a customer. South African fashion retailer Woolworths tweeted in support of International Pride Month on June 1st, voicing a commitment to, quote, better serve our LGBT people and customers, and citing initiatives like creating an internal Pride task team, creating Pride merchandise, and adapting its dress policy for employees to accommodate for gender identity, religious, and cultural needs. The tweet outraged some South African consumers who branded the company woke and said they would no longer shop there. Well, that is pretty woke, and it's their business if they don't want to shop there. In response, Woolworths doubled down in a forceful tweet. Every person has the right to dignity regardless of their identity. This is a fact enshrined in our Constitution. It is not up for debate. Well, they don't have to debate anything, but the customers aren't going to go there and they're not going to spend their money. And if they want to lose several $billion, the way that Target has, the way that Bud Light has, Kohl's is too small to lose several $billion, but they've lost millions, then that's what's going to happen to them. New Zealand retailer The Warehouse faced similar online backlash, reportedly for selling items from Disney's Pride collection, which included a rainbow-colored silhouette of Mickey Mouse and rainbow pens and pencils. Glamour UK faced right-wing online pushback after it featured a pregnant transgender man, Logan Brown, on the cover of its Pride issue, though Brown's appearance was also praised by LGBT activists who consider the cover image a way to normalize LGBT childbearing experiences. Yes, normalization is what the attempt is to do, to make the strangest things that aren't normal appear to be normal. Canadian religious activist group Campaign Life Coalition led a boycott for parents to keep children home from schools that have flown pride flags, reportedly leading to high absence rates on June 1st, including 9 schools with absence rates exceeding 40% and 2 exceeding 60% in the Ottawa Carleton School District. So what is the purpose of pushing this on the population if it's not something that the population wants? The answer to that question is it's just unnatural garbage. And of course, people are going to push back on it. Yet there are some companies that push profit before pride because they're in the profit business. They're not in the pride business. And of course, they're not supposed to be. Coming from Daily Mail, top firms such as Vogue, Pfizer, and General Electric are accused of hypocrisy for celebrating Pride Month with rainbow logos in the US, but not in the Middle East. Some companies are still actually putting rainbow logos on their US Twitter accounts, but they're not doing it in the Middle East because the Middle East is not having any of this stuff. They're not interested in it. So you kind of can't do that in the Middle East. You can't push the agenda that way. And this is the pushback that they're getting. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Did you realize that Bud Light is no longer the #1 beer? They've lost that position. They had it for 22 years and now it's gone, and very likely gone forever, because we know that come September, shelf space is going to be reset for all mass market and even independent store retailers. When the numbers come in and it's obvious that Bud Light is no longer selling anywhere near the way it used to be selling, they're going to get much less shelf space. Less shelf space means less sales in the future. Also, did you know Kohl's is not really able to sell their Pride merchandise? They got into all this trouble. They made all this merchandise. Nobody really wants it. Nobody's really buying it. Target did the smart thing. They pulled most of the merchandise. Even if you find some baby bibs, you find some onesies, a couple of Pride books or whatever, they're not even selling it at Target anymore. If you bring the money to the cash register, they'll say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't sell you that item. And did you know that the anti-woke movement has gone worldwide with retailers? It's not just the United States anymore. It's South Africa. It's the UK. It's New Zealand. It's really everywhere. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Always love to see your ideas. Really appreciate you guys. Please be sure you're also subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.